My guest tonight is a 13-time Grammy winner and also a very stylish man. He helps me pick out all my collared shirts with the sleeves rolled up. Please welcome Pharrell Williams. Hi, Pharrell.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. How you doing?
I mean, it's different because you're like addressing people, but at the same time, like the studio audience isn't there, so it's like a different sensation.
You know what? We did have one unwanted visitor show up a few minutes ago, but you are correct. We don't have a studio audience, but another human being somehow got through security. Hey, Pharrell, I was talking to my daughter earlier, and I asked
hmm
her what she wanted to do when she grows up. What did you want to be when you were like 5 years old? Do you remember?
No, I remember I didn't know what I wanted to be, but I knew what I was obsessed with. I was obsessed with space, and I was obsessed with robots. Hence the dances
Mm-hmm.
of that time. And I don't know. I love the color yellow, but I cannot tell you that I knew what I wanted to be. I'm not sure that I hit the mark.
Earlier this week, you did something very interesting. You returned to your home state, Virginia, and you petitioned the governor to make Juneteenth an official state holiday. And they actually are making it an official state holiday. Well, hopefully, at least they're doing it this year, right?
Yes, sir. And I mean, to be clear, I called him over the weekend
Mm-hmm.
because obviously people are rightfully protesting. Americans are protesting in the streets, um, fresh in the middle of a plague. Some people are calling it a pandemic, but let's just be clear. I, don't- I you know, people are dying in 10 days when they catch it. But there's just so much going on, and with what happened with George Floyd and so many others in such a short amount of time in this short window while this is going on, I think people are in the streets, and it's just man, it's we've all just had enough as Americans, not just us Black Americans, but our allies and advocates. They've had enough, and I just think it's high time that if we're gonna think about what independence and what freedom really looks like, we never really, ours was never really acknowledged. I mean, yeah, there's 47 states that observe it, but man, it's not a paid holiday. We
Right.
deserve a paid holiday. And so I called him and I just said, man, I just feel like, this is important for, not only your own legacy, but for the legacy of Virginia. And if you would be willing to officiate this and make this a paid holiday, I will travel for the first time out of my house. My wife is not playing no games
Right.
um, with this COVID-19. She's not playing no games. I mean, as you know, we have
Yeah.
600 children, so we can't afford to play any games. But this is serious because this is for not only me, but this is for like my ancestors that absolutely came through on the hull of a ship um, uh, in Virginia, 400 years ago, over 401 years ago. And so for me, this was incredibly symbolic,
Yeah.
and it's necessary.
And your family has been in Virginia since they came over.
Well, I actually did my episode with Finding Your Roots with
Oh,
Dr. Henry Louis
right. Louis
Gates Jr.
Gates. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I found out that yes, we came um, through on the ships where my ancestors were enslaved through Virginia, and then we ended up in Nash County in North Carolina, with a very horrific um, set of details.
Sure.
Um,
Maybe North Carolina would be the next state that you can get on board with this. Are other states considering this now and acting to make it a state holiday?
Beautifully, Andrew Cuomo, who's never like late, he's right on it. I mean, he said that he will be signing an executive order. So we have New York. We're reaching out to Governor Newsom
In
right now.
California. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to get to the governor of Connecticut. Like, we got to do this, man. It's the right thing to do.
Can I ask a dumb question? Now, this is
Yes, sir.
for a holiday. You want to have traditions. You want to have, is there a specific food? Is there a specific drink? How do we celebrate Juneteenth? What are the traditions? Are there any yet?
It just depends on where you are. And I mean, they definitely sing, lift every voice and sing. You know, that's going to happen a couple of times that day in a really strong and momentous way. Obviously, we cook out, we barbecue. When I was a kid, man, I was in the youth chapter of the NAACP, and all of us in NERD and the Neptunes. You know, one of the group members, Shay, his aunt, used to lead the youth chapter for us, and she used to celebrate Juneteenth, and I never really knew what it was, and I never really made the connection in high school, you know, because everything was taught so separately, that it's like there were different histories and not just one. And so for me, I remember we used to cook out then. I didn't really put the pieces together until, you know, you get in school and you realize July 4th, 1776. Really only the you know, our white male brother was free from the British monarchy, but his
Right.
wife was not.
Right.
African Americans certainly were not, and Native Americans absolutely were not. So, you know, this is long overdue. And my only thing is, listen, man, if you love us, this holiday is for you too. It's American history. It's American history.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great idea. I really do. I mean, I think we welcome a new holiday, absolutely. So, Pharrell, each night I've asked my guests to choose a charity, and you chose charity I'm very familiar with, World Central Kitchen. This
Yeah.
is they do great things. These guys, they really started in Puerto Rico, feeding people on the ground, and have expanded that all around the world.
Yep. Jose Andreas is amazing, and what he, you know, we had him in Virginia as well, and it not only fed a lot of people, but it kept places that were like suffering from the effects of the COVID-19 to actually be able to operate and make some money for their families as well. What they've done in Virginia is unbelievable, and especially in our MSA in the 7 cities of 757, like it's been pretty amazing, and we're not done. We fed over 1.5 million people and still
Wow.
counting. Yeah.
Wow, they are the real deal. WCK.org, World Central
Yep.
Kitchen. Pharrell Williams, thank you, Pharrell, and happy Juneteenth. This is exciting. You're getting a holiday on the calendar.
Can I just say this really fast though?
Yeah.
Man, if you really care about you know, your fellow Americans, this is a holiday that you should support. You should be reaching out to your local governors and telling them how important this is for you. I hate challenges. I hate call to actions. I've never had a successful hashtag in my life. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's American. It's
Pick
American.
up the
If you really
phone.
believe in it, let's go. The corporations are all doing it. They all understand. It's not a red or a blue thing. It's an American thing. It's for us. It is for your black brothers and sisters.
Well, the man is right. Pharrell Williams. Thank you, Pharrell.
Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is ridiculous.